everyone that have the opportunity to see this video. In this case, we are going to talk about the exclusion, and we can understand the problem that is representing the actual. The exclusion can be compared to a blind spot. When you are in a street, you cannot see, but if you are, but you can see when you are the blind spot. The circumstance is different when you are the blind spot or when other person is. Under the influence of the environment, there is a bias affinity. We always want to be with some people for some reason. For example, I like some type of music and another like the same type. I want to be with this person. I don't know how they say name or something, but this is really a problem. We have no real empathy, and it's not enough to have empathy. Yeah, and this is really a problem. Generally, we have a political phase, a business phase, but this really is only active when you need something of other person. You smile, you oh qué tal, but what happens when you don't need anything? Yeah, uh, this is the this is a problem. The effect of stroke is a kind of semantic interference. This occur on our brain, uh, and this in affect the time of the reaction of a task. For example, when a word like blue, green, red is writing with a color that differs to color expressed by the semantic meaning, you have a contrast in your brain. You read red, but it's writing with a marker blue. This is a reaction in your brain, and the same happens when you try to other people. Do not give the true value and the true meaning, because you really appearance without knowing. You think in a person that is with a bad clothes or is smart, is black. You think a different of these persons, but you really don't know who they are. Uh, for a bit, these are not magic solutions to stop being extrusive. We gradually have to identify the problems, the situations, um, and make effort to avoid it, because this is really a problem. Thank you for your attention.
Hello, Miss Gracia. I talk about about the inclusion and exclusion. Inclusion is to link and integrate all persons without any prejudice, bound equally from any point of view, either economic, social, education, political, among others. The inclusions refers to a change in a society towards a mutual agreement and equity, integration, socializations. Inclusiveness is important point for society, because it ensures not exclude any kind of people. If no fail skill and also take advantage the activity made inclusion is a positive thing, because we all have the right to have the same opportunity, but that between such a, we are all different. Solutions equal that exclude and individually to different as factor. These people the right of accessibility to social welfare. The exclusion is a negative thought because it does not allow the right because society does not recognize it is a social is inequality before the economic, social, political factors, and we must change. Not it is excluded people with a physical condition that has or simply because they are different. That we are all the same, have the same ability to shape maybe things more difficult, but what must not believe the protection systems, socials, um, to ensure that everyone has access to make rights, encourage society to make a change and say no the discrimination.
Hello, everybody. I'm going to talk about a little more what Helen Turnbull talks about in the video. So she's a conferencist that make a speech about the inclusion and the exclusion of the people, giving an example about her own life, about her own experience. So the inclusion is that we have to receive everybody without import the physical conditional, the economic conditional, and we have to include it in the group. So it's not it's negative to the discrimination. So she say in the video that we are all unlike and different between us physically because we have different DNA, different fingerprints, different hair, different skin, and different face. So we are different, and so the inclusion is that we are alike and we are uniquely different. The problem is that we are like more we are so like some people more than others. Um, Also, the inclusion is about that we have the deep need to be included in the group, um, because she mentioned sometimes that we have like a blind spot. A blind spot is a thing that we cannot see, and we cannot see and is visible or invisible. People say in a poll that men have more ability in leadership, in studying, in working, and choosing a career, and they feel more safe than the women. So not all the men say that, but the curiously is that more women say that yes. Furthermore, the inclusion is in the profession, in the politic, interesting, the studying, and so the thing that we have to be conscious other gender difference. And to conclude it, people um, have the need to be included in the group. So I think that we can have the solution in the of that problem, that the exclusion. We have to work from the school, from the little the children, and we have to teach them that we have all the same right. We are different physically, but we have all the same right, and we don't have to discriminate or exclude to others to don't be like us. And also, we don't have to um, care to be more sympathetic or empathetic. That is one of the reasons that we have. Thanks to everybody.
The exclusion and inclusion
are specific points in the society because in each country exists a different ethnics and different um, types of lives. Our people, our person, uh, has a style of life and costumes uh, for in the we learn in the which phase of their life. First of all, my parents, for example, my parents teach me to respect all the types of persons of all the ethnics and in my home because in my little town exist various ethnics, for example, the Pocomans and the Ladinos. In my school exists in the school was I study uh, was the two ethnics, and I some childs discriminate on or exclude some kids uh, for being Pokemons, for being indigenous, uh, and is this this action is bad, but the child don't have the guilty because actually it's a child. We are in the we are have 5 years old. We don't have so much of our life or of life. The parents, our parents, teach all the values in the home, in our home. If I if I discriminate or exclude of group of society a person only for the color skin, my parents has the guilty for don't teach me uh, correct values uh, for for appreciate the person because uh, for she has the black skin uh, don't have um, don't have more stupid or more intelligent. um, I have been b- black skin, but I don't have I don't stupid or more intelligent for that reason because the intelligence on the character or the valors or anything anything more characteristic of person don't identify for the color scheme on the color on the origins of my uh, ethnic project. For this reason, the exclusion and the inclusion in the society is very important because we need to a best society, a best world in the future. We need more compression, more love in our world.
Good afternoon, Miss Grass and classmates. Today I'm going to talk about inclusion, exclusion, illusion, and collusion. She first starts talking about what the inclusion talks about, and she says that the inclusion, we are all human beings and we are alike in a certain way, but in the other way, paradoxically, however, we are all uniquely different. We all or we all have different DNA, different fingerprints, stories, etc. But we have preferences to be with people who are like us, because we all have a deep need to be included. She also start talking about the gender on the career, and she began saying that one time she was on a plane, and but she didn't feel good in that plane only because the pilot was a woman. So that is what we call a exclusion of gender. But also is scientifically demonstrated that men are more serious about their careers. They exhibit more leadership, they have more assertiveness, they are valued for a revenue generation, and that they also allocate major projects than women. And this was something that also women think it is true. For example, when she was on the plane, she didn't feel good because the pilot was a woman, even though she was a woman too. She also started talking that the 80% of the people who goes to the university associates men with the careers and the woman with the home because it is like that in most cultures. We also use different faces to feel comfortable or not with things around us. This means that we can smile to a person but not feel good with that person. Or we can go to a place but miss our homes. All this means that we feel better with people that are like us. Sometimes it doesn't matter the gender, but sometimes it does. Also the race or the social level, the place in which we are, that is the way in which we include or exclude the illusion we make in our minds.